What is up, everybody? Today we are counting down the top 10 worst German aircraft ever made. You heard me right. We're looking at 10 planes so bad, so dangerous, and so useless that it's a miracle they even flew. I spent a fortune digging up insane historical footage and data, so you're in for a wild ride. First person to correctly guess number 1 in the comments gets a shout out next video. German engineering? You think incredible cars, powerful machines, flawless design? And for the most part, you'd be right. They built legends, but they also created some of the biggest flying disasters the world has ever seen. Planes that caught fire for no reason, planes impossible to fly, and designs so weird they look like cartoons. Pilots were terrified to fly some. One had a wing pod off to the side, another was a rocket-powered death trap. Don't click away. The countdown starts right now. Number 10. The Heinkel. A 177 Greif. Germany's heavy bomber Hope, that turned into a hot mess. Literally a hot mess. Engine bays overheated constantly. Engineers coupled 2 engines and 1 nacelle to cut drag. Think taping 2 lawnmower engines together and hoping. Cramped bays, leaking oil on scorching manifolds, BAM wings erupted in flames mid-flight. Crews nicknamed it the Luftwaffenfeuerzeug, the flying lighter. Imagine flying a bomber that might spontaneously combust at any second. Every mission felt like strapping into a ticking time bomb. Fixes never shook its reputation. One catastrophic design choice ruined a promising heavy bomber. For being a flying fire hazard, the Heinkel He 177 lands at number 10. Number 9. Messerschmitt Me 210, a plane so bad, pilots refused to fly it. Planned as the ultimate successor to the Bf 110, faster, stronger, more powerful. Instead, it was unstable, with vicious stall spin tendencies and almost no warning. Pilots said flying it felt like balancing on a beach ball. The nickname stuck, the Widowmaker. Germany poured resources into fixes, slats, tail changes, band-aids on a broken leg. Nothing worked. Production halted after hundreds of flying coffins. A massive embarrassment for Messerschmitt. They crawled back to the older Bf 110. For killing its own pilots more effectively than the enemy, the Me 210 earns number 9. Wait till you see what's next. Number 8. One of the weirdest planes you'll ever see, the Blohm+Voss BV 141, completely asymmetrical, like 2 half-planes glued together. It was a recon bird. Put the cockpit in a side-glass pod for an unobstructed battlefield view. No wing, no engine, nothing in the way. But weird designs bring weird problems. Custom parts, logistics nightmares. A few flew surprisingly well, but it never mass-produced. Luftwaffe picked the conventional FW-189 instead. Fascinating experiment, operational failure. BV 141 sits at number 8. Number 7. Arado R240. Tried to do everything, did nothing well. High-speed multi-role powerhouse on paper, fighter, dive bomber, recon. Packed with unproven tech that constantly broke. Think building the first smartphone in the 1940s, the tech just wasn't there. Unstable and demanding to fly, pilots wrestled it just to go straight. Failed to meet expectations in every role, jack of all trades, master of none. After a handful of builds, the project was cancelled. Money and time down the drain. Over-ambition and complexity equals disaster. The Arado R240 earns number 7. Number 6. The Focke-Wulf FW-189 Uhu, the Flying Eye. A tactical recon plane with an almost all-glass cockpit, amazing visibility. Fantastic for spotting targets, its main job done well. But that glass offered almost zero protection. One burst could end the crew instantly. It was slow, not very maneuverable, and underpowered. Easy prey if caught. Its only real defense, go low and hope agility near the deck saved it. On the Eastern Front, if intercepted, it was basically a guaranteed kill. A useful specialist under perfect conditions, but a sitting duck in combat. Our number 6 worst aircraft. Number 5. The Junkers Ju 87 Stuka. Absolutely iconic, then a total death trap. Famous for its terrifying siren that screamed in a dive. Unstoppable, so long as Germany owned the sky. Slow, poorly defended, not maneuverable, designed purely for dive bombing. Against modern fighters like the Spitfire and Hurricane, it was massacred. They couldn't run, and they couldn't fight back effectively. Losses were so bad it was withdrawn over the English Channel, a relic that turned from feared predator to helpless prey. Number 5. Number 4. Heinkel, a 162 Volksjäger, the people's fighter, born of desperation and disaster. From drawing board to first flight in under 3 months, corners cut everywhere. Built largely of wood, glue formulations could literally degrade the structure, wings could fail mid-flight, top-mounted engine made it unstable, flameouts were common. Bailing out risked being sucked into your own engine. It demanded experienced pilots, the exact opposite of its concept. Poorly built, unstable, deadly, a jet of wood and glue that endangered its own side. Number 4. Number 3. Dornier, Do 335 File. Probably the fastest piston fighter of the war. Unique push-pull configuration delivered speed and complexity. 2 engines, 2 props, complex systems, difficult to build and a headache to maintain. Germany lacked time, resources, and skilled labor to mass produce it. Rear prop made ejection deadly. Designers added explosive bolts to blow the tail off first. Only a handful built, almost no combat. A super prop marvel that arrived too late. The wrong plane at the wrong time. Number 3. Number 2. The Messerschmitt Me 163 Comet, one of the most terrifying aircraft ever created, the only operational rocket-powered fighter, fueled by 2 incredibly volatile chemicals, T-Stoff and C-Stoff. If they mixed, explosion. If they leaked, these chemicals could dissolve the pilot. Crews wore protective suits, pilots sat amid deadly plumbing. The rocket burned for about 7 minutes, then you were a glider. Rocket to altitude, 1 or 2 passes at a bomber formation, then silence. Landing on a skid was brutally difficult and caused countless crashes, as likely to explode on the runway, dissolve its pilot, or crash on landing as to down a bomber. A rocket-powered death trap that killed its own highly trained pilots. Number 2. And here it is, the number 1 worst German aircraft ever made, the Henschel H-129, designed as a dedicated ground attack tank buster. Its fatal flaw? Engines, captured French Gnome-Rhone units, weak and unreliable. So underpowered it could barely get off the ground when loaded. If one engine failed on takeoff, control was practically impossible. The cockpit was a cramped armored box, like flying a tank through a mail slot. Some engine instruments were mounted on the nacelles. Pilots had to look outside to read them. With a 75mm cannon, recoil could nearly stall the plane in midair. Slow and sluggish, it was an easy target for ground fire and fighters. Underpowered, poorly designed, miserable to fly, it failed at its one job. The single worst, H's 129. And that's a wrap on the top 10 worst German aircraft ever made. From the fiery He-177 to the pathetic H's 129. Even a nation known for engineering greatness produced some of history's biggest flying disasters. For every success, a dozen failures get swept under the rug. These machines cost lives, money, and precious time. Cautionary tales of ambition and desperation. I can't decide the absolute worst, the rocket-powered Comet or the underpowered HS-129. What do you think? Was it the asymmetrical BV-141, the deadly Me-210? Drop your pick in the comments. If you enjoyed this epic countdown of aviation fails, destroy that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. We read every comment. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.